Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors at Trillium. We've been looking at car care as an analogy for our spiritual walk, car care as an analogy for faith care. In the same way that we need to maintain our vehicles in order for them to be effective, to do the job we've asked them to do, we also need to maintain our faith. Our faith needs the maintenance and care, the practices of support. Otherwise, when those testing moments come, our faith is going to flinch, it's going to break, and we'll find that it won't get us to where we need to go in life. This week we're looking as a part of car care when the tire hits the road, the importance of tires. You know, tires are something that I don't think we take so seriously. But a couple of days ago I was driving on wet conditions. I came around the corner a bit ttoo fast, and all of a sudden I could feel my car sliding. Just for a moment. It was kind of frightening though. Just for that split second when my car was sliding in a way I didn't want it to. I was out of control. I did not have a good grip on the road surface. And this has happened to me, perhaps to you, on a wet surface. Maybe icy road conditions when you come up to a stop sign too fast, or you go around a quarter too fast and the car just for a moment loses its grip on the road surface and you're sliding in a way that you certainly don't want to have happen. I've had people tell me about their experience on black ice. And, you know, basically their car careens into the ditch, and they've had, you know, really tough circumstances. And the fear of that moment when they've lost control. I think that we're kind of blithe about our tires, you know. How often do you look at your tires? Do you inspect them carefully? Do you look at the tread? How often do you check the inflation in the tire to make sure it's pumped up fully? I don't do it very often. In fact, the last time I did it was in preparation for this moment, in this conversation, but before that I can't remember the last time I really took a good look at my tires. When you think that our tires are our only contact with the road, right? Those four little surfaces on a traditional vehicle, a truck or a car, SUV, van, those four little contact points are what keep us in, grip to the reality of the road. And when those four surfaces are in some way impaired, like a bald tire, we're riding in a pretty risky set of circumstances, riding in a risky way. How good a grip do you think you have on the reality of life? If life is like a road, you know, we make the journey, how good a grip do you think you have on reality? Personally, I think most of us don't have a very good grip on reality at all. I think we don't really understand the events of our lives in a very clear or confident manner at all. We don't really know what's going on. I've seen so many relationships careen into the ditch because people are driving on bald tires. That is, they're disconnected to the reality of their circumstances, and they end up careening into the ditch. I've seen marriages careen into the ditch. That is, marriage goes in a direction they don't want it to go, but it ends up there. I've seen that with parents and children, with good friends, work colleagues, business partners. It happens all the time in life because we get detached from the reality of our circumstances. You know, life comes at us in ways that we can't even possibly understand because we don't see the big picture. We're caught up in the moment. God sees the big picture. God knows what the meaning of our life circumstances is, but we don't really understand them. How could we? See, one of the challenges, it seems to me, in those moments is that we need to step aside and allow the gripping presence of the Holy Spirit to keep us in contact with the reality of life. We need to step aside and get out of the way so that God's grip and God's connection with reality can take over for us. See, because we just get in the way, we can so easily mess it up. In those moments, we're like driving on bald tires, and we think we're in control, but we're not at all. And when we step aside, just get out of the way and allow God in us to speak and move, we find that we have great traction in life circumstances, even when they're hard, even when the pressure comes upon us, even when we are put under great pressure, we still can remain connected to the reality of life because we know who God is. And in knowing who God is, we're reminded who we are. So the next time you come to a set of tough circumstances, the next time you find yourself moving through life maybe too quickly, or you're losing just control for a moment, just remember, step aside and let the gripping presence of the Holy Spirit take over, you'll find that even if the world around you is careening out of control, you'll be gripped to the reality of life.